Hey, hi. So, probably sometime back we already covered a detailed explanation video with respect to RCM on services. And we have also covered the cases where, how to identify the time of supply, ITC document related and section 16.4 compliances. Probably I'll just, give some sort of reference to that. So probably, this one particular video, we have covered the entire case, like what is what. So probably you'll get three levels of summary stating that having these sort of bifurcations. One second, probably yes. When the supply is located in India, whether supply is registered, unregistered, or supply located outside India. Probably just covering this case, I've prepared a summary, RCM applicability, time of supply, ITC eligibility, section 16.4 compliance, and documentation required to avail such ITC. Probably, after having some sort of easier reference, we also went into this understanding what is the actual provisions. Just, one by one we run through it, and Rule 47A, Section 13, and probably Rule 36 also related to documentation. Also, we verified it once this was done. So probably there was one mistake. I think probably I highlighted somewhere here. I think let me just show it here itself. I think it is 30 days from the date of provision of service rather than date of invoice. I think I corrected this in somewhere in between. So yes, probably So probably we'll move to a different concept. Now we'll just move to the next part, stating that now theoretically we have understood what is what. So that is not a case. So probably just to understand this particular transaction, let's have an understanding. So this transaction is from a registered party. So time of supply based on these provisions, the registered party will be date of payment or 61 days from the date of invoice. So since let's take date of payment is after date of invoice, just in case. So document date. So we have document date. We'll add 60 days to it, and we'll check the date of payment, whichever is earlier. Based on the time of supply provision will be verified, will be given to you. So let's take payment happen after very long time. So for time being, we'll just calculate this one. So okay, let's even take date of payment. Let's even take date of payment in this one instances. So let's take I made the payment by 15th August. I made the payment by 15th August 2026. So probably as per time of supply provision for this particular case will be lower of the following. This plus in document days plus 60 days. So I'll get the minimum. This or this basis which my time of supply will be determined, and usually we if the time of supply is 29 May, so that the due date of payment will be end of the month, will be end of the month plus 20 days. Probably that will be the 3B filing, and we'll get the actual date of filing. And we'll get the actual date of filing. So let's take the actual date of filing is 22nd June 2026. So in this case, there will be interest applicability on for around 2 days. You will be required to pay interest rate of 18%. Further, you will also require to check whether this transaction, particularly the supplier is located in India, sorry, in which state. Let's take you are located in Tamil Nadu and the supplier is located in Karnataka, that is 29. So probably here it should have come IGST, but in books of course we have recorded CGST, SGST. Considering this multiple sort of situation, have just prepared some sort of easier level of summary to have an understanding, because each case is different. Each case is different, and each case will have multiple combinations. So probably. So in this case, you have to go with this formula. In unregistered, you have to go with this formula. Make sure within 30 days from the date of provision of entry. And even for outside India parties, so a non-associate and associate parties will bifurcate into two components. So let me just go through. I just prepared the same format. Just paste the format, and now next your role will be to put the data payment over here. Once that is done, you will pick the supply type. For example, Let's take these last two transactions. These two are definitely import or services transaction, and these parties are located outside India. So I know for one thing, let's take this one party is associate enterprise, and this one party is not an associate enterprise. So probably you'll just come here, we'll type in unregistered party, not associate, and this one will be associated party located outside India. So what will happen? Automatically, based on this condition, your time of supply provision on just a tentative level, you will be getting it. So you will get the date of payment or self invoice as per rule 47A, rules whichever is earlier. And in case associate enterprise, that will be date of payment or date of posting in books of accounts, whichever is earlier. Now, basis this, automatically the formula will pick up everything. So it has already picked up the time of supply, and it will also validate the 16.4 check. So probably will come one by one. So your important part will be to just update these few columns. Once you update these few columns, everything will be auto populated. So let's take in the next instance. So probably this one particular transaction is definitely a registered party located in India, and now the next party, even these two are Indian but they are unregistered. Now the next party, a registered person located in India, and it's a service. The next party, same, unregistered person located in India, and these sort of transactions. Now we will put the nature of expenditure. So for example, we know, like we'll come to the narration. We'll check advocate services. Is there any other legal fees? Yes. So probably these two are with respect to lawyers. So we'll come here. We'll put legal services by an advocate. So what will happen? Basis of this, automatically the rate will get populated over here. So once this is done, we'll come to the next parties. That is commercial vehicle hire. So with respect to GTA, I think hopefully this is a GTA transaction. We'll just have to look into the invoice copy which has been received by us, and basis of which we'll have to determine whether it's actually a hire or related to a good GT transaction. Freight charges and GT agency. So even these two will be coming. I'm just giving you a gist of nature of expenditure. Next, these are related to import of services. I think probably we are covered. So yes, in every case, ITC is eligible, and GST head. So what has actually happened? So your next last column will be providing GST heads. GST head will determine based on the place of supply. So let's take in the first case, you are located in Tamil Nadu. So this case will be CGST, SGST. This case will be inter IGST. So what you will do, you will come here and put IGST. And the next case, you will look into the case by case. So for time being, let us just take into an example that these are CGST and SGST transactions, and even this is a CGST SGST transaction, and the last two are IGST transaction. So probably your job will be to first copy paste the data, and you will have to determine the transaction type, whether it is registered party, unregistered party, and also what is the sub branch, whether the supplier is located in India, outside India, and in case outside India, I have to have further bifurcation into associated and non-associated enterprises. So once even that is done, automatically I think probably from this point your job is done. From this point your job is done. So basis automatically what will happen, based on your description, your categorization, these sort of comments will be automatically pulled from the formulas. So you will find that, okay, yes, for this one particular transaction this is the provision applicable, for this transaction this provision is applicable, for this transaction this provision is applicable. So basis which your time of supply will be determined. Once your time of supply is determined, will also be checking with respect to Section 16.4 time limit, whether the ITC, in case if you are availing in the same month, whether the ITC is actually eligible. Eligibility check will also be done over here, and you will get a remark stating that it's compliant or not. Let's take for instance, let's go to document date. Probably just change this document into 2023, or maybe 23 will suffice. And just one more thing, make sure you always update this column till April 26. Let's take for this case, and we have already also changed this one particular line item. Let's see what comment we are getting over here. So we're automatically getting a comment that with respect to this one particular invoice, with this respect to this one particular invoice, the supporting document to avail ITC is self-invoice generated as per rule 47A. So hopefully the maximum day to generate a self-invoice, that would be around 30 days from the date of invoice. So considering everything, the 16/4 time limit was supposed to be 30 November 2024, but when are we availing this ITC? On April 26th. So in a way, you are violating this provision. So probably you will not be able to, since this is violated, you will either way you have to pay this RCM, but you will not be eligible to claim it. So probably again, let's fix the date. So let's make it correct. So again, you will find that yes, 16/4 has been complied, and basis the time of supply, we'll get the due date of payment, and we'll also get the actual date of payment. So probably we'll get an interest applicability, whether interest is applicable or not. Let's assume for in one case the document date is let's go with April 25. So what has happened, the due date of payment is 20 July 2025, but you have made the actual payment is 20 May 26. So probably, even though you have time limit to avail this ITC, but interest liability will arise because the cash payment you should have done by 20th July itself, but you're actually doing it in 20th May. So probably interest will be calculated on the GST amount for 304 days. So the interest component will also be auto populated over here. Probably I think I should have given a heading over here. So yeah, I think this will be sufficient. So we'll get the interest component again. So hopefully this is not the case. So we'll come back to our normal 2026 figures. So again, automatically your remarks will be updated that there is no delay. Okay, once everything is done, you'll be left with the amount check. So whether the actual amounts are proper as per the rate percentage provided over here, because we know for legal services the RCM should have been 18%. For GTA, the RCM should be paid at the rate of 5%. For import of services, transaction will be at the rate 18%. And these sort of transaction, let's hypothetically change this to security services. It will get back to 18%. So let's see what is the mistake that has been done. So we'll come here, we'll click on recheck, and we'll just go and look into the amounts so that what has actually happened. So probably yes. So for this first transaction, 5% should have been the ideal amount. 5% would come to rupees 5%. 5% will equal to 500, and that too in IGST column. But there have been two mistakes. First thing, the rate is at the rate of 18%, and the second mistake is CGST and SGST has charged instead of IGST. So in the given case, we are given IGST. In case we put CGST, automatically this issue will get solved. But what will happen? The 500 component will get split into two parts, 250. Even then, we'll have a surplus. So this, let's take this as auto computed RCM. This is difference. So hold together. Let's just change the color for the given instant case. Yeah. So yes, these are the mistakes that has been done. I think probably in this case also it's clearly evident that I am telling that based on my workings, I have an understanding that this transaction should have been a CGST and HGST transaction, but in the books of accounts, it seems that we have recorded IGST. So we'll just come and look into the transaction once. So yes, I'll probably look in the invoice copy and identify where the particular supplier is located, basis which I will change the remark to IGST. Once I change the remark to IGST, I will find that automatically the difference will get zero, and my amount check will also be to no issues. Probably, we are still left with three issues. Even these sort of issues will have the same sort of nature. So I think in this one, it's clearly evident that it's a interstate or intrastate sort of mismatch, which has to be rectified either in books or either the books is wrong, or if the books is correct, in that case, the comment which we have given over here, it is wrong. Either one is to be rectified, and basis the invoice copy, the same is to be done. And probably in these two cases, I think even these cases, that in our books of accounts we have recorded RCM at the rate of 18% for transportation, but in fact the actual rate should have been just 5%. So yes, once these errors are sorted, you will be able to be in a good structure, getting the time of supply, and time of supply provision, time of supply dates, and with respect to ITC component, whether 16.4 is complied, 16.4 compliance, 16.4 date, 16.4 compliance, and what is the document proof to avail ITC. You will find that in certain cases self invoice will be required, and certain cases supply invoice will be sufficient. And basis, I think probably when what is covered will be particularly properly mentioned in this one particular video. I think it was previously provided. I'll try to put a link of it. So yes, so this is it. It'll probably help you a bit in some way. So let's see how it goes. Probably just run through it, and it will be quite helpful if we have a steady working from the beginning itself. So what will happen? Even in the end moment, you will be able to have a good track of the place of supply, and the taxable value disclosures, and the rate checks, and the interest component applicability, and the ITC availment with respect to section 16.4. In every way, one way or another, it will be helpful for you. So yes, this is it. So probably I'll try to put a link of the sheet in the description itself. So if it works, and probably just run through it, and you can have a glance at it. Any improvements required, probably you can just ping me, or okay, you can even do your sort of custom formatting based on your requirement. So till then, yeah, we'll just look at it. So, thank you.